Jody, I said I'd get you on a little early, so I think we will. So Sharon, do you want to come up and do the introduction?
We get to welcome Jody Hudson, who will be speaking about the Alex Hudson Lyme Foundation. Jody was born to an ill-prepared single mother and was placed in foster care until she was adopted. This entry into life formed Jody's servant's heart and empathy for others, traits that she has passed along to her son Garrett and daughter Alex. Jody will tell you that being a mother is her proudest achievement in life. After a long career in retail, Jody left the for-profit world and entered into the nonprofit sector. For 12 years, Jody worked as the operations director for Catholic Charities, the Diocese of Fresno, and upon the death of her 22-year-old daughter in March of 2018, Jody founded the Alex Hudson Lyme Foundation with the acronym AHLF. She worked both full-time positions until September of 2019, when she made AHLF her full-time career. Jody was awarded the Marjorie Mason Center Top 10 Professional Businesswomen Award in 2018 for her efforts with both organizations. Jody guides AHLF's work through advocacy, education, and awareness. She collaborates with local and national organizations to further AHLF's mission. She has also written a soon-to-be-published book about Alex's journey with Lyme disease and uses this platform to provide hope and healing to those struggling with this debilitating illness. Through AHLF and its work, Jody is fulfilling her promise to her daughter. And now, Jody, thank you for joining us today.
Today, I'm talking about the Alex Hudson Lyme Foundation. I want to talk to you a little bit about Lyme disease. I want to talk to you about my daughter's journey. And then I want to talk to you about currently what I'm doing with her foundation and the legacy that I'm carrying on her behalf. So Lyme disease. How many people have heard about Lyme disease and know a little bit about it? Good. I did not know about Lyme disease in May of 2017 when my daughter was diagnosed with it. I had to look it up in the dictionary. I thought it was something that happened out in the East Coast. But from May 2017 to today, it's become an epidemic. It's in all 50 states in the United States, and it is here in the Central Valley. And people didn't think about that a couple years ago, but I can attest to you, especially since I've formed this organization, I have people daily and weekly reaching out to me from the Central Valley saying, hey, I know this person, they just got bit, or my family member just found out that they have Lyme disease. How can you help me? So it is an epidemic, and that is part of my mission, is to really make sure that you know, I talk to people about the prevention, I talk to people about the awareness, and just what we can do here together in the community to help those that are struggling from it. So Lyme disease is a bacterial infection. You receive it when you are bit by a tick. It can also be your pets can carry it, so they can be tick carriers. A lot of times people don't even realize that they have been bitten by a tick. Only 35% of those that actually have Lyme disease recall the moment that they were bit by a tick. None of those individuals get a bullseye rash, so that's one of the identifying symptoms right off the bat. But again, most people don't realize that they have Lyme disease until it has been in their body for quite some time, and then it's chronic Lyme disease, and that was in my daughter's case. So the first preliminary symptoms of Lyme disease are flu-like symptoms, joint pain, achiness, just feel like you're out of sorts, you can't get out of bed in the morning. That's the first stage of it. The next stage of it is a little bit more debilitating, where you can have digestive problems, you can have other issues arising around it. Because it's a bacterial infection, it can impact every organ in your body. So think about that for a moment. It's like, wow, not only your digestive, your body, once it crosses into the brain, you can have brain inflammation, brain fog, and then if it's chronic, then that's when it's really debilitating, and that was in my daughter's case. So once you actually do know that you have Lyme disease, this becomes another problem. How do you treat it? People respond in different ways to Lyme disease because when you get bit by a tick, that tick can be a dirty tick and it can carry multiple different co-infections. My daughter, for instance, has 4 different co-infections. She had Bartonella, she had Babesia, she had Rocky Mountain fever, and I can't even remember what the other one was right now. Each of those presented in different ways. So when you go to a Lyme literate doctor, they have to look and see what is the most pressing symptom, what is really bothering you the most. They start with that and then they work their way through it. Lyme disease is not like having cancer where you know it's cancer, you go through chemotherapy. There's a tried and true symptom. There's a tried and true treatment for it. With Lyme disease, it's a variety of different treatments, and you just have to figure out what treatment works best with your body. And so it's, you know, right now in the medical world, they're really trying hard to do a lot more scientific research with Lyme. They are trying to, you know, get better diagnostic testing, and then also they are trying to really find a cure for this. And that's really tough, but we're really trying to pour a lot of money into the research and the science behind trying to find a cure for Lyme disease. More about it. So I don't want to talk to you more about that. I really want to talk to you now about my daughter's journey and how she was impacted by Lyme disease. So in 5th grade, my daughter started experiencing joint pain. She started experiencing some of the beginning symptoms of Lyme disease, and that's when she had to basically stop playing sports. She was an amazing athlete. She did all the sports that you know, young child likes to do: soccer, softball, cheer, dance, you name it. She was doing it, and she started having this inflammation and joint pain. So we started going to Children's Hospital, and they were running tests. They had to see several specialists, and this went on for about a year or so. And what they decided at the end of all this was she was a medical mystery. There was no talk about Lyme disease back then. There wasn't any talk about, you know, a real help for her. She basically just had to suffer with this joint pain and this inflammation, and they kept telling us, you know that she has something, but it's probably going to be discovered, it's going to be found later on with testing. And basically suck it up and try and, you know, move on with life, and that's what Alex did. So she couldn't run anymore. I mean, imagine in 5th grade, you can't run, you can't play sports. It was really hard on her, and she just kept battling through. She started developing digestive problems. Remember we talked earlier about, you know, the different symptoms with Lyme, and when you start having digestive problems, it really causes a lot of issues, obviously, within your body. So she started having digestive problems, she started having food allergy issues, and this was in her high school years. So fast forward to her senior year, and she was able to graduate from high school. She had a full ride to UCLA, but she wasn't able to accept that because she was just really starting to deteriorate in front of my eyes. She weighed 120 pounds when she started this journey. When she passed away in March of 2018, she weighed 57 pounds. That's what Lyme does to you. It attacks your body. And when you don't have people that really know how to help you with your child, it's a very, it's hard, it's rough. So we did the best that we could do. We kept still fighting for answers. We knew that there was a reason for her body behaving in the way that it was, and we were not going to stop until we found out what it was. And so my daughter, on her own, in May of 2017, found a doctor down in LA, and this is our 40th doctor now. So we, remember, 5th grade, we started the process. Now she's a freshman at Fresno City College, and she on her own is trying to figure out what is wrong with her because the doctors weren't able to figure out what was wrong with her. And the 40th doctor said, Mrs. Hudson, everything that Alex is describing, we think that she could have Lyme disease. And that's when I said, Lyme disease? What the heck is Lyme disease? This was May of 2017. Well, now I could be Dr. Lyme because I've learned so much about it. But, so yeah, she was tested for Lyme, and sure enough, she had it. that began our cross-country journey from May 2017 until she passed away in March of 2018. I spent $80,000 of my own money out of pocket, because this is the other thing with Lyme disease. A lot of insurances don't cover treatment because they still think it's experimental treatment. They think that, oh, just take 30 days of antibiotics and you'll be fine. I can tell you, with all these people out there with chronic Lyme, 30 days of antibiotics is not fine. It doesn't even begin to help solve the problem. These people are in crisis. So we, for almost a year, tried to get her better. We went to the top hospitals, the top universities. Nobody could help her. Every different treatment that they tried her on, it just wasn't helping. 10 years of a bacterial infection had just deteriorated her body. So when I knew that Alex was not going to turn the corner on this and that God had other plans, she and I had a conversation, and she said, Mom, she said, I want you to carry on my fight. She goes, I'm trying to fight from the bed here for those that cannot fight for themselves, and for those that medical community and regular community doesn't believe in them. She goes, I need you to be my voice. I need you to carry on my fight. And so I made her a promise that day that I was going to continue her fight. On March 24th, 2018, at 4:23 p.m., Alex gave me a parting gift. From her bed, surrounded by myself and 4 of my amazing friends, Alex lifted her head up off the pillow. She looked up to the heavens. She had this great big smile on her face, and then she laid her head back down and she passed. And I say it was a parting gift because for those of you that are parents and you've lost a child and you don't have that closure, I don't know how you move forward. I at least had that closure with Alex, and she was giving me a sign right then and there that, Mom, I'm going to be okay. You know what you need to do. Move forward, and it's going to be okay. And so I had that choice right then and there. I could have gone light, or I could have gone dark. It would have been really easy just to lay in bed and say, you know what, forget this, I'm done. You know, God, what have you done for me lately? You just took my daughter. Life isn't working out for me. I'm just going to forget about this and just not get out of bed. Or I chose the light. That's what I decided to do. I chose the light, and I kept that promise to my daughter. So she passed in March of 2018. In June, I petitioned for a 501c3 named after my daughter, the Alex Hudson Lyme Foundation. And with that foundation, what we are doing right now is we are raising funds for research, because I want to make sure that we are helping those that are still struggling out there that cannot figure out how to cure this disease. So we are raising funds for research. We've already raised $50,000, and we have co-sponsored a grant with Global Lyme Alliance out of New York, and it's named after Alex, so her name will always be attached to science and research. We have also partnered with the Girl Scouts here locally. That's why I'm now working with the Girl Scouts. And the cool thing about this is here in the Central Valley, our Girl Scouts are collaborating with the Alex Hudson Lyme Foundation, and we are creating Lyme curriculum that's going to be rolled out nationally. So the patch, because all the girls are into patches, the patch will have the Alex Hudson Lyme Foundation logo on it, along with the Girl Scout logo on it. And that's going to be rolling out this May. May is Lyme Awareness Month, and so we have a lot of great exciting things planned centered around the Girl Scouts with this Lyme curriculum. We also, part of our funds from our fundraisers, have this really exciting literacy program with children's Lyme disease books. And last October we had a fundraiser right here in Torninos, and we were able to raise enough money to purchase 3 children's books for each elementary school in the Fresno and Clovis Unified District. The cool thing about these books right here are, one of them is bilingual. So those students that need that Spanish version, we have that for them right here in our Lyme disease books. I'm hoping to raise enough funds that we can start going out to the west side with this. We can start going out to other rural areas, that we can, you know, have Central Valley be the spark that it goes throughout the whole state of California. I think it's so important to create this education and awareness. And had I known back then, when my daughter was in 5th grade and the doctor said she's a medical mystery and someday we'll figure this out, what's wrong with her, had I known then about Lyme disease, I wouldn't be standing here today and talking to you about the Alex Hudson Lyme Foundation, because my daughter would still be here. So I think it's so important to make sure that we are educating our children, because children then can talk to their parents. Parents can talk to the doctors. I mean, it's a whole cycle, right? These books will have our logo inside of it, and that logo will have our website. So those individuals that are looking at this book and they need more information on Lyme disease, they can go to our website, where we have a whole slew of resources about Lyme disease. We can put people in touch with Lyme literate doctors, because that's one of the biggest problems as well. When you do have get a diagnosis of Lyme disease, where do you go? Well, when Alex got diagnosed, there wasn't anybody here local that knew about Lyme disease. Or they thought, well, just give her 30 days of antibiotics and she'll be fine. I want that to change. There's enough amazing doctors here in the Central Valley that if we start doing CMEs and start getting them trained and Lyme literate, we don't have to go chasing across country to find help for our children and help for our loved ones. We can do it right here in the Central Valley. So I'm on a mission. I'm really excited about the growth that this foundation has had just in a short period of time. You know, talking about the Lyme books, this is very important to me. We're doing a lot of great work with other Lyme agencies throughout the country. Like I said, Global Lyme Alliance, we are partnering with them on our research grant. We also are working with the Live Lyme Foundation and some other great foundations. You know, there's strength in numbers, and our little foundation here has really made a name for itself nationwide, and I'm really excited about that. They're excited about what we are doing, and I just see that there's going to be a lot more, you know, wonderful things coming from this foundation. And again, it's just doing what Alex wanted me to do, and I think what any of you would do if you had a child pass away, you would want to create a legacy on their behalf. And so that's what I'm doing.